All right, welcome back. Hope you're all having a great start to your week. Today, we're continuing our review of our newest RBT exam as we go through questions together and break them down. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Please like and subscribe. Please check out rbtexamreview.com for all of our study materials. We offer 3 practice exams, a task list study guide, and our combo pack. It's our best deal. It includes flashcards, questions, comments. Please let me know. When you do pass, let us know so we can include you in our shout out. Other than that, let's work hard, study hard, get to our questions. Question 1. Fez gets distracted while implementing a behavior plan and accidentally reinforces the wrong behavior. What should Fez do next? You might see quite a bit of the what do you do next type questions on the exam. And a lot of times they're ethical or they have to do with communication. They're looking to put you in a real life situation and seeing how you're going to respond. In this case, Fez got distracted and he accidentally reinforced the wrong behavior. Now, this is going to happen. It happens to even BCBAs sometimes. There's a lot going on. What we don't want to do when we reinforce the wrong behavior is panic. We don't want to overcorrect and accidentally start using things like punishment or implementing the treatment plan wrong. If we make a mistake, we can fix it. We just need to go back to implementing it the correct way. So in this case, what does Fez need to do next? A, tell the client's parents and continue implementing the plan. Now, this is where we have sort of a separation between personal and professional. The parents don't really need to know from the RBT when the RBT makes a mistake or if something like this happens. It's not really their concern. If the BCBA wants to bring it up to them, they will, or they might tell the RBT to bring it up to them, but it's not who the RBT is going to go to first in this case. So A is out. B, implement the plan as directed from here on out. Okay, this is a good idea. Just because you did the plan once or wrong once doesn't mean we need to panic. Again, just go back to implementing the plan as directed. Now, B is good. Is there a better answer? Are we missing something? C, contact the BCBA and stop session. Well, you want to contact the BCBA, but we don't want to stop session. ABA is applied, so we're working within the confines of the natural environment, right? So we need to just react to how the environment is going on around us. We can't just stop session anytime bad behaviors occur or we make a mistake. We have to keep rolling, but we want to reach out to the BCBA. So really, let's combine B and D, where we implement the plan as directed from there on out, and we contact the BCBA. Now we're really talking, okay? Reach out. Hey, I reinforced the wrong behavior. It's occurring more. I'm going to continue implementing the plan as directed. Once you contact the BCBA, they'll tell you how to proceed from there. The most complete answer is going to be D. Contact the BCBA and implement the plan as directed from there on out. John, a boy with autism, is standing in the lunch line. He wants chicken nuggets, but is unable to get the lunch lady's attention. John starts to cry. The function of crying is most likely what? This question is a pretty good indication of what we are trying to accomplish. John just wants to get chicken nuggets, but he can't get the lunch lady's attention. Maybe his voice is too low. Maybe he's not using the right words. We're not sure why, but these are things that we need to think about and work on. Because in this case, John starts to cry because he's unable to meet a need. Behavior typically happens for 2 reasons. You gain something to get rid of something. In an ABA, we break it out into 4 specific types, right? Attention, tangible, escape, and automatic. So in this case, what is John trying to do? Trying to gain something or get rid of something? Well, he wants to gain chicken nuggets. So he's trying to gain this tangible item. John starts to cry. The function of crying is what? Well, trying to gain chicken nuggets. Not attention. John's not worried about attention, so be careful, right? It's not really trying to get the lunch lady's attention. Okay, he wants the nuggets. Maybe we don't even know if he's trying to get the attention of the lunch lady. Okay, that's the means to an end, but there might be other way to get the chicken nuggets. What John ultimately wants are these nuggets. Okay, he can't get these nuggets, so he's crying. Be very careful. This is a tricky question. He's not escaping from anything, and it's not automatic because it is socially mediated. The whole reason he started crying is because he wants chicken nuggets and he can't get access to the chicken nuggets. Okay. Lunch lady might just be one way to gain these chicken nuggets. We're not even sure if he's doing it correctly. What if he's not aware of the lunch lady, right? All we know is he really wants these nuggets. He can't get them. John is crying because he wants a tangible. Alex is sitting in his computer chair typing a paper. He hears the air conditioner turn on, so he stands up, walks to the thermostat, and decreases the temperature. If Alex does this every time the air conditioner turns on, what is the effect of adjusting the thermostat? All right, positive reinforcement, positive punishment. So it's a reinforcement punishment question, right? And in these questions, how do we attack them? Well, we need to know, is our behavior increasing or decreasing? And we need to know, are we adding something or are we taking away something? Is Alex's behavior increasing or decreasing? Or is it maintaining? Because if it's maintaining, it's going to be reinforcement. So we know when he hears the air condition, he stands up, walks to the thermostat, and decreases the temperature. If Alex does this every time, his behavior is maintaining. Adjusting the thermostat is doing what? Well, it's reinforcing his behavior. His behavior continues to happen. So we know it's reinforcement. Now we ask ourselves, are we removing something or are we adding something? Well, the air conditioner turned on. He walked to the thermostat and he decreased the temperature. So he's trying to remove this cold air, right? And by decreasing the temperature, he's removing or adjusting the thermostat, we could say, he's removing the cold air. Doing this is negative. We're removing the aversive stimulus, which is the air conditioned blowing cold air, which is reinforcing Alex's behavior as he continues to do it. So he is being negatively reinforced. Another tricky question. Because remember, what is the effect of going over and decreasing the temperature? He's removing that aversive stimuli. And when we remove something, okay, and it increases our behavior, negative reinforcement. If you are collaborating with a team on a client, who can you talk to about the client's treatment plan? Ethical question here. The board emphasizes collaboration. They want teamwork. They want us to work together. But if you're collaborating with a team on a client, who has a right to that information? Can we just go around talking to our parents, to our boyfriends and girlfriends, to our friends about the client? Well, no, right? Because we have privacy laws, we have privacy issues, we have HIPAA, we have company policies. There are specific people who we're allowed to talk to. A, only members of the team. Okay, yes, right? We certainly can share treatment plan information with members of the team. A is good, but we don't pick A and move on, do we? What do? We read all of our answer choices to find a better answer if there is one. So if we look at B, anyone within your company, well, we just know that's not true, right? Because if you have a 50-person company, not everybody's on the team. Not everybody has access or approval for this information. C, members of the team and anyone with approved access to the information. Even better than A, right? So we have members of the team, and then maybe other people who have access, right? Teachers or principals or law enforcement, whoever, right? If they have access or they're part of the team, you can talk to them about the treatment plan. And then D, only your supervisor. Well, of course not, because if there are other RBTs or parents or stakeholders, you have to talk to them as well. The best answer here is going to be C, members of the team and anyone with approved access to the information. A prompt serves as a blank. Okay, kind of a fluency check. I like to throw these fluency checks in here because I always preach the importance of fluency. We need to know terms. We need to know definitions. So what's a prompt? Okay, simple, easy question. A prompt follows an SD, and we're trying to evoke a desired response. It's a cue to evoke a desired response. So A, cue, is a prompt a cue? Absolutely, a prompt is a cue, right? We're trying to cue up what we want to see. Is a prompt a consequence? A prompt is not a consequence. A prompt is an antecedent event. Be very careful. Don't put a prompt in the wrong place. Prompt comes before the behavior, making it an antecedent. C, a prompt serves as a temporary SD. Yes, and this is a little more technical, but if the prompt is the thing evoking the behavior, then in that situation, the prompt is the SD. But we only want the prompt to be a temporary SD. We're going to use fading or stimulus transfer control procedure to transfer control from the prompt to the real SD. In the meantime, a prompt serves as a cue, and a prompt serves as a temporary SD. So a prompt serves as both A and C. On Friday, the Tigers scored 10 runs in the 8th inning to come back and win the game. On Saturday, the Tigers scored 4 runs in the 9th inning to win the game. What type of measurement is used in this scenario? Real life application for measurement. We use measurement all the time. Okay. What are we recording? Well, we're recording how many runs, right? 10 runs in the 8th. We had 4 runs in the 9th. Okay. So how are we recording runs? Well, we're counting them. When you count something, what type of measurement are you using? Are we using rate? Rate does include frequency, but rate also includes time. And we aren't specifically saying Tiger scored X amount of runs per inning or per anything, right? We're just saying one game they scored 10 runs, another game they scored 4 runs. We're just counting up the runs. So we are using frequency. It's not latency, because latency is a time-based measurement, right? Time in between the SD and the first response, as is IRT, which is time in between multiple responses or 2 responses, right? IRT and latency are just out. Rate, we don't have a time component added specifically. So it has to be frequency. We're just counting up how many runs they've scored in each inning. Which of the following does the task list and ethical code not emphasize for RBTs? What is the key word in this question? Not. Okay. Not emphasized. Meaning 3 of these are emphasized for RBTs, 1 is not. Maintaining client dignity. Obviously, that is emphasized. Perhaps the most important piece, right? Always respect, always uphold client dignity. B, prompt and clear communication with supervisors. Very important on the task list, okay? And on the ethical code, we need to communicate with our supervisors all the time. C, establish friendships with stakeholders. Now, stakeholders could be parents, could be guardians, whoever has an interest in the client. Are you supposed to be friends or make friends or develop friendships with them? Not necessarily. We want to develop rapport, right? We want them to trust us. We want them to be comfortable with us, with their child. But friendship is very, very close to a dual relationship, which we want to avoid. It is not emphasized at all to establish friendships. We need to develop rapport, not necessarily go as far as a friendship, though. And then D, obtain supervision for services provided. Of course, RBTs must do that. That is listed in our code and our list. The only thing not emphasized is establishing friendships. Be careful with those words, right? If it said establish rapport with stakeholders, yes, that's what we want to do. Establish friendships is going a little too far. If I'm your supervisor and I ask you to describe how loud the client is screaming, what I really want to know is the blank of the behavior. When we define behavior, we define different aspects, right? First things first, we want to be objective and measurable, but then we want to describe why it's happening or the function, what it looks like or the topography. And then sometimes we're going to describe things like the intensity, right? How loud something is, how big something is, how soft something is, how small something is, how quiet something is, on and on. Those elements are known as magnitude. So if I describe, or I ask you to describe how loud the client is screaming, I want to know the magnitude of the screaming. I'm not asking why it's happening. I'm not worried about the function. I'm not talking about the topography or what it looks like. And I'm not talking about rate because I'm not actually measuring it. I just want to know the magnitude. How loud does that client screaming get? Now, be careful to try to be as objective as possible, which is a little hard in this case. But if your supervisor asks you for it, you should provide it, right? So in your best possible description, describe the magnitude or how loud the client is screaming. Remember, magnitude can be loud, soft, big, small, etc. When 2 or more people take data and compare their data against one another, this is what? Someone asked me about this the other day. BCBAs 100% have to know what this is, okay? RBTs is not on the task list, right? But somebody was asking me about it. So if someone asks me about it, I kind of want to make just a point to mention it occasionally so we're aware of it. And this is a very important procedure to make sure that team members are recording the same thing. Because if we're recording different things, then something's off about our measurement or our plan or our definition or an aspect of treatment, which we need to fix. So when 2 or more people take data and compare their data against one another, what is that called? Well, we know it's not a functional analysis because a functional analysis is an assessment where we're trying to determine the function of a behavior by manipulating antecedents and consequences. It's not an indirect assessment because we're taking direct data, right? It's not shaping, okay, because shaping has nothing to do with this. It's IOA, it's inter-observer agreement. And all inter-observer agreement is when two or more people take data on the same thing, and then they compare that data and see the results. You want everybody's data to be as close as possible. If it is, it represents good inter-observer agreement. If it's not, then we're lacking IOA. That's a problem. Just be aware of this, right? May come up, may not. Just know or just be aware of what IOA is. And then finally, all data taken before an intervention begins to help us find a starting point is considered what type of data. The key is before an intervention. Any data taken before an intervention begins is going to be what? It's not intervention data, it's baseline data. That data is definitely not irrelevant. It's not indirect, right? Because we're actually intervening right now. Any preliminary data, any data before an intervention begins to help us know where the client's at and where we should start, baseline. All right, thanks for watching. Check out rbtexamreview.com for all of our study materials. Please like and subscribe. When you do pass, let us know. Work hard, study hard. See you soon.